Play clock getting down. Ellinger slant. Duvernay. First down and touchdown.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? It is Dibes, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. On tap for today, I want to talk to you a little bit about Devin Duvernay, a wide receiver from Texas. This extremely underrated prospect has some of the best speed and hands in the entire draft. How does Devin Duvernay fit with the Philadelphia Eagles? Let's take a look. Before we get started, make sure you check out thepaintalliance.com for everything Philadelphia Eagles. If you're new to our channel, make sure you hit subscribe below. Here are some fun facts about Devin Duvernay. Devin was a running back prior to high school. During high school, he was a Texas 100-meter state champ. He originally committed to Baylor to play with Art Briles. He is a cousin of Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray. He has a twin brother who also plays for the Longhorns. Devin Duvernay's 106 receptions ranked number 2 in school history over a single season, behind Jordan Shipley, who had 116 back in 2009. Let's look at Devin Duvernay's draft player ranking. He is currently not ranked in Daniel Jeremiah from NFL.com's top 50. He is ranked 88th by Matt Miller of Bleacher Report, 69th by ESPN. He is rated the 25th best wide receiver in this draft via Sports Illustrated, 79th by CBS Sports, and 140th via the Draft Network. Let's take a look at Devin Duvernay's college performance. Who is the best wide receiver in the history of the Texas Longhorns? I'm willing to bet that none of you mentioned and named Devin Duvernay. After Roy Williams and Jordan Shipley, Devin Duvernay has rightfully claimed his place as one of the top wide receivers in school history. Why did it take so long? Let's examine. Devin Duvernay was a big-time recruit out of Texas. Duvernay was a late addition to the Longhorns and received offers from Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Baylor. Duvernay busted out the gates during his freshman season, averaging 20.6 yards per reception and scoring 3 touchdowns. However, his numbers never took that natural progression during his sophomore and junior seasons. When Charlie Strong left Texas, Devin Duvernay clearly struggled to adjust to the then new head coach Tom Herman his second season. He struggled getting on the field and clearly needed to work on improving his route running and creating separation during his sophomore year. Duvernay finished with 9 receptions and 124 yards that season and contemplated transferring to a different program. The struggles only continued his junior year. Despite the talent, Duvernay finished 3rd on the team in receptions along with just 4 touchdowns. Following a disappointing junior season, Duvernay agreed to switch positions into the slot during his senior year and simply never looked back. Duvernay saved the best for last. His breakout moment came versus number 6 LSU when he erupted for 12 catches, 154 yards, and 2 touchdowns during the second week of his senior season. Quite simply, Devin Duvernay turned some heads his senior season, finishing with 106 catches for over 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns. In fact, Duvernay's big play ability got him into the top 5 in the country in receptions, number 3, and receiving yards, number 5. Those numbers are even more impressive when you consider that Duvernay only had 3 drops in 129 targets last season. Duvernay's standout season got him first-team All-Big 12 honors and an honorable mention for the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. Devin Duvernay had a very good showing at the Senior Bowl and measured in at 5'10" and 200 pounds. This is a huge week for Duvernay, who many consider could rise up the draft boards with a successful NFL draft combine. Let's look at what Devin Duvernay could bring to the Philadelphia Eagles. Speed, and more speed. Devin Duvernay brings some of the best straight line speed at his position. This is a guy who clocked in at 21 miles per hour during the Senior Bowl, good for second best at his position. To put that into perspective, Henry Ruggs III clocked in at 24 miles per hour. In terms of pure speed, Devin Duvernay is one of the best. Devin Duvernay also brings elite yards after the catch ability. According to Pro Football Focus, Devin Duvernay had 719 yards after the catch this past season. To put that in perspective, more highly touted receiver prospects Justin Jefferson had 714, while CeeDee Lamb finished with 683 yards after the catch. If you're looking for a sleeper draft pick, this is it, Eagles fans. Devin Duvernay also has phenomenal hands. This is a guy who is a center fielder on offense. Devin Duvernay has consistently shown the ability to make all the catches. He's had several standout moments of spectacular catches during big-time moments. Duvernay's great hands combined with his ability to track the ball downfield makes him a potential deep threat in the NFL. The Eagles have been ravaged by injuries over the past couple years, especially at the wide receiver position. Devin Duvernay played in all 51 games and made 29 starts during his 4 years at the University of Texas. All signs point to Alshon Jeffrey's days being numbered in Philly. How many games can you realistically count on with Deshaun Jackson next year? Duvernay's consistent ability to stay on the field should make him a very attractive piece of the puzzle for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles must bring the big play back to Philadelphia. Devin Duvernay is a player who can make plays all over the middle of the field as well as stretch the field when necessary. I don't know about you guys, but I spent the majority of this year's Super Bowl wishing Deebo Samuel was wearing Eagles green. He was all over the place, finishing with 92 yards on 8 touches. Deebo Samuel is a solid comparison for projecting Devin Duvernay at the next level. What are some areas that Devin Duvernay needs to strengthen? It's most importantly his route running. Duvernay can look stiff in motion and isn't the quickest in his cuts. Film shows that Duvernay's hips are too tight to get separation during his routes. Duvernay mostly faced off coverage in the slot during his senior season at Texas. Learning to become a better route runner has and will continue to be a major focus point for Duvernay moving forward. A big storyline to watch is Devin Duvernay's agility tests at the NFL Draft Combine. If he tests well, Devin Duvernay could be one of the biggest high risers on the draft board come draft day. Another area to look at does not have to do with Duvernay, but more so the Philadelphia Eagles. After watching tape, Devin Duvernay projects best in the slot at the next level. With such a high need on outside receivers, should the Eagles invest a 3rd or 4th round pick in a guy that primarily will be a slot receiver in the NFL? Greg Ward showed immense value late last season, thriving as a slot receiver for Carson Wentz. However, Duvernay's excellent straight line speed could make him a potential project to also play outside receiver down the road, something to look out for. What are my expectations for 2020? Listen, I love Greg Ward more than anyone. He was a fun story last year, but the Eagles need to inject speed and youth at the wide receiver position. In my opinion, the depth and overall talent at wide receiver simply isn't good enough. To not select a guy like Devin Duvernay, one of the biggest sleepers in this entire NFL draft, because he may best project as a slot receiver in the NFL, would be a very bad move. The Eagles love versatility with their players, and Devin Duvernay has the ability to eventually make plays all over the field. The bottom line is that Howie Roseman must add dynamic weapons for Carson Wentz at the wide receiver position. The Eagles are desperate for dynamic playmakers, and I would absolutely love to see a high-end talent at wide receiver taken in that 1st round, along with Devin Duvernay in the 3rd or 4th round. As a diehard Eagles fan, adding speedsters like Jalen Reagor and Devin Duvernay is exactly the type of wide receiver my body craves. Devin Duvernay would be an amazing pick for the Eagles in that 3rd or 4th round. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I am Dibes, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Lock it down to thepainted.com for everything NFL Draft. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit like and subscribe below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome.